In 1992, I was driving a 1964 white VW Bug. Looked just like Herbie and about as dependable. Duct tape was the only thing keeping this thing on the road. It was a nightmare. It pumped exhaust into the cabin and called it heat. It had power nothing. It was like driving a big, oversized go kart. And I brought this thing from Georgia to a little cornfield town called Anna, Ohio. And a bunch of farmers did not know what to make of me driving around this antique with Guns N' Roses blasting out of the windows. So the cops pulled me over every chance they got because they just could not believe I wasn't rolling doobies in this thing. As basketball season reached its climax that March, our high school team had won the first two games in the tournament. Now, this little town was like Hoosiers, dank gyms, squeaky wood floors, too many people squeezed into too little space. And we didn't have football. Our school was too small then. I graduated with about 50 people. So when the basketball tournament came around and our team was winning, it was a big deal. For school spirit, the idea of solidarity, I painted my Bug shamrock green and big bird yellow, which were the school colors. And it was beautiful and hideous all at the same time. We put Anna on the sides, painted the hubcaps and the wheels green and yellow, streamers, a big rocket on it. It looked like a clown car, and I was the monkey driving it. So when I get to the game, the lot is packed. Both towns turned out. This is played at a neutral site with a much bigger gymnasium than normal to handle the big crowd. So when I get in the parking lot, it's packed. And I decided the last thing I was going to do was bury, my Bug all the way in the back somewhere. So in a moment of inspiration, I pulled right up by the front door into the grass and profiled it right up by the front door of the main entrance where everybody comes in at. That way everybody could see it. Get out, lock it up, go in. As I joined the pregame festivities with all my friends in the cheering section, everything's going great. They finish warm-ups, we do the national anthem, and it's game time. We're ready to go. Well, the announcer comes on the loudspeaker just before they tip off and says, "Would a person with the early model Volkswagen parked illegally up by the front door, please move it before we have it towed?" Well, I couldn't even hear the last few words he said because our cheering section went nuts. Right away, a chant breaks out, "Harry, Harry, Harry, Harry." I've never gotten a standing ovation like that before or after. Never. And so I head down the bleachers, taking high fives and back slaps, crowd still chanting my name. And as I hit the bottom floor, I hear a voice barking in anger. And it was unusual, and it stood out. And I turn around and look, and it's my dad. My parents had decided to come watch the kids I grew up with, the seniors, play in the tournament. I had no idea they were coming, was clueless they were there. And they'd also showed up early, I guess, before I parked it up by the front door, so they hadn't seen it. Well, the old man says, "God damn it, Harry, is that your car they're talking about on the loudspeaker?" And I said, "No, Dad. They're chanting my name because I'm the starting point guard tonight. Yes, it's my car." And of course, in this situation, I could be a little cocky because I knew he wasn't going to kick my butt in front of 5,000 people chanting, "Harry, Harry."